Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday, 24th of February. So, looking at the euro dollar first as ever, and well, at the moment we're sort of sitting on an inside bar. So, just looking at the data due today, we've got bank holiday day in Japan, so we've probably seen a bit of a thinner Asian session there. But today we've just got the German IFO business climate data coming out at 9 o'clock, and we got a Bank of England MPC speaker speaking at 6 p.m. this evening, so nothing really significant to be worried about today. So, well, I say worried about, but looking to watch out for. So euro dollar, and well, big up day in the end, relative biggest best day it's had for quite a while to the upside there. Has it got some more in store? Well, we'll see. It's already caught the weekly pivot, and well, may be heading back to that. There are some slight gaps when you look down to the 60-minute time frames. There's some gaps here. Now, I was sort of looking at the euro in a more slightly more bullish way. We've got so many people still looking at the short side of things here, but whether it's there's also a hell of a lot of people in the buy side of this euro, and I just do wonder on the retail side that the trouble with that is, of course, it becomes right eventually, but so often we just see it keep continuing taking out prior lows. But we'll see what happens here. At the moment, it's putting a reasonable reversal in. Not totally convinced in what's happening here. Maybe if we can get back above that 60-minute 8 or something like. Yeah, probably a 60-minute 8. If we can push back beyond that, maybe we could be up for the gap fill, but it's maybe a big ask on a day like this. We'll see. The pound, well, the pound is in a daily range at the moment. Upon these trend lines sitting here, it's again on Friday there pushed into quite a bullish pivot swing at this stage here. It could be looking to break the upside of that. Confirmation, maybe a break before through that 34 or even the 50 MA to be on the sort of more safe side, but that downward facing 34, yeah, well, it's already been resistant, so if it pushes up there again, that may be bullish. At the moment, it's erring more towards the bearish side. I was looking for a bit of a bearish trade off Friday, but it never came to be, and I will give this plenty of time as well. There is a couple of trend lines. There's a more distant trend line across the lows here, then that you could be drawing a trend line between the Monday morning session there, Friday morning session, and through to this Monday morning low. But we'll see how it goes here. But I should give it a bit of time this morning before pushing into anything here. Dollar yen. Well, yen shot off on Fridays, sold off a bit. Sorry. As we saw some weaker US data, it's at the moment, well, could still head back towards its weekly pivot, but it's sort of continuing looking like it. I mean, it's a bull flag. It looks like it may continue back to the upside, so there is that possibility that could still remain. And to me, it's still one of the softer currencies of the majors there, if not the softest, with the data that's been through lately. But you see, it's really choppy on this 60-minute time frame. I say choppy, but pretty sideward action, low volume because of the market closed. It hasn't helped. Aussie dollar, excuse me. So the Aussie dollar, well, it's not holding on to its gains as much as anything else. It still remains weak. Has got a gap above. Marginally, it came within a smidgen of catching that gap. Within a smidgen of it, but sold almost straight off as soon as it hit its daily pivot there. Has got a weekly pivot way up above if it did see a bit of a reversal, but the coronavirus is really spreading fears as we're seeing more cases in Europe, particularly Italy. I believe Iran's been hit quite badly, South Korea. There's a lot of countries around the world now seeing many more cases, and it's certainly spreading some fear into the markets. Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar, well, big gap, and it's taken out on near-term highs. I thought earlier on I was looking at it thinking it's taken out the big highs, but no, it's taken out the near-term highs that we've seen over the last week there through this current session. It's big gap below, weekly pivot below. If it was to start turning and reversing, maybe that would be there would be some targets there. Daily pivot, weekly pivot sitting there around about that 30 to 34 area. But at the moment I wouldn't really be trying to bet against this current movement. It may reverse, but it's the Canadian dollar after all. Okay, that's pretty much. I'll just have a quick look at the S&Ps because I just want to look at an equity market this morning, get a feel for what the equity markets are doing here. Yep, no surprise there, gapping down there initially, quite a big chunk down. Again, the fear through these markets, and it's selling off as I'm speaking here. Now it may just have further downside on this. We may be running into that point of the bigger correction. I was looking at it last week, and it's certainly some of the love has been lost a little bit, but okay, so maybe a bigger correction due. It's retesting that daily 50. Maybe this time it will correct through it. Right, that's pretty much it for me. Just to watch out news wise today, as I said, 9 o'clock and then 6:30 p.m. Have a great one. Bye for now.